having rain, so I'm okay. So yes, again, welcome to everybody. And today we're going to be talking about the very first visit up to see some of our projects and the mentors since COVID began. It was like a year and a half before anybody was crossing borders, just like we've had in our own families with the community. We were not able to get together. And it was such a joy to have this happen. And this was a group from Vancouver, Washington. They braved COVID and all, and I give Ralph a lot of kudos to make that happen. And I just wanted to say, you're going to hear about their visit. And it's kind of interesting because none of them had visited before. And I think some years back, not that long ago, Ralph, I think you thought we had a school. And so what they learned is that we are a network of social entrepreneurs, all committed to creating pathways out of poverty and with special attention of empowering girls and overall strengthening their communities. And it's such a dynamic group, and I will have them share that today. So they're going to be doing that. And one thing I did want to mention, and I'm very grateful to Ralph on this, and something I appreciate about him, he was game, he was game to try new things. And we're constantly in touch with the mentors. What's working? Where are you seeing the impact? What could change? What do you need? Is it maybe with schools being closed now for almost 2 years? Is it Kindles with books? And what keeps coming back to us is this: they want opportunities. They want opportunities to learn, to try new things, to find out what's out there so that they can pass that on to the kids. Open up new pathways to jobs and schoolings and directions. But unless you are able to get out and experience some of that, your world stays very small. And so Ralph, it was just terrific to heed the call. And one of some of the pictures you'll see was a day of activities where they went out and looked into new job opportunities, getting to a local lodge, things that are just normally not accessible. And it opened up a whole new pathway and a tremendous ripple effect. So if we have time, I would also like to share how they then pass that on to their youth. So that's it from me. I'm going to hand it over to Paige to run this gathering.
Try. Before Priscilla, we begin, I want to give a shout out to Wendy and Devin. Can you do that for keeping us going here?
Shout out. Shout out.
Wendy's in Pretoria and Devin's in Cape Town, and they are really the glue that holds us together. Oh, he's giving you a wave, and I don't know if Wendy, you can see Wendy, but yes, we're so excited to do this today, and it's so good to see all of you. I'm Paige Hassan. I am on the board of the Giving Circle, one of the board members. I am doing some donor care and on the communications team. And I am also related to Priscilla. So, okay, today we're going to hear from Ralph and some of his group. And I think what was really cool, Priscilla, after taking so many COVID tests and making this work, she was able to leave Cape Town and meet them up in Zimbabwe, where the adventure began. I would like to also if there are any questions, Ralph, is it okay when you speak or the mentors that we can, if you have a question, just how do we want to recognize? Just raise your hand. Is that how we want to do this, Priscilla? And if they have any questions, is that okay, Ralph? If you just
Sure, that's fine, or just
to ask questions.
or just chime in, make it a conversation. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and I see on here we have some of the donors and friends of the circle who traveled where you have been before. So it'll be fun for them to hear some of your impressions. So, all right, with that, I'm going
And
to.
Paige, we've also got, so we've got Prosper, we've got Nika, we've got Procedure, we've got Endolende and his team from Dete outside of Huengue, and Mercy. So we've got about 8 or 10 mentors on.
I know for a fact that I'm sure you're waiting to hear about Procedure and the birth of her child, her second child. So is that okay? Is she able to say hello right off the bat so they can, well, we have her? Procedure, are you there? She's probably taking care of Annabelle.
Hi everyone, I'm right here, Paige. Hi, Paige.
Yay!
Hi, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm here. I'm very well. Annabelle's doing well too, and Divine, Frank is here too. We're all doing well. Thank you so much.
So does everyone know she gave birth to a baby girl, Annabelle? Everything seems to be going well, right, Procedure?
Very, very well, very well. Thank you. Everything is going well. 2 girls now.
Oh, I hear her.
All right, so with that, that check-in procedure, thank you. All right, Ralph, would you like to begin and give us some of your impressions?
Sure. I am such a beginner and a neophyte with this whole how does this work in Africa, because it's a different culture, it's a different world. There were so many things in Africa that I would love to bring here. I mean, the mentors have this amazing spirit and amazing work ethic trying to get the information out to other people, but it's like they're starving for education and knowledge and opportunities. And how do you provide that? You can't just give them money. And that's one of the realizations that, you know, you come up with all these great ideas, but do they really work in that environment? Do they work in a world that's different than the one we're used to? And it's like here, if you just give people money, then they just get used to the money. They don't learn and grow and develop and go do it on their own. So it's really fascinating to watch the whole process and see what works and see what doesn't work. I don't know how many have watched the movie, what was that, Harness the Wind?
Mm-hmm.
About the boy in Africa that started he built a windmill. And it wasn't building the windmill, but it was how difficult it was to get it done. Didn't have school fees. Had to sneak into the library to find any information. So you kind of take a step back and look at what would our world be like if we didn't know the things we know, and then try to figure out how to get that information if it wasn't just available automatically. And then so how do you foster that? How do you keep that going? How do you make that connection to young people? And then, you know, one of the things that impressed me is financially, these guys don't have as much as we do. Yet after we were walking around Dete for a while, a place that had no running water for 3 weeks, I hear now they've got electricity issues because of too much water and rain. I don't know. You know, we're about to go on our safari, and they gave us a gift. You know, those are the things that we need to get back into the US. How many kids here in the US would even think of anybody else would be excited about doing homework and study. It's just a different culture. And the more I think we can benefit them, the better they're going to be, the better and faster they're going to get out of poverty. I just thought it was an amazing experience with these guys. So one more thought, Priscilla, you said that Jennifer had dropped off a book on writing iOS apps or something like that, right?
On coding.
On coding.
Something like that. And Delende's on, he can share, and you can unmute any of you guys, that book. Remember, Delende, that book that, yes, and they don't have a computer. I mean, they didn't have, and they're so excited about it. So yeah, they are hungry for that info. And Delende, are you able to speak?
Hi guys,
Hi.
so
Hi.
lovely to meet you. Hi Ralph and everyone. Thank you so much. We are doing good here in Dayton. Yeah, we have the book, and you know, the boys and girls are so excited. They are just, when I told them about the book, that if you read out in this book, you will be able to do some applications and all those things. And now they are busy trying to see what works and what doesn't work. They are busy reading about it. And I'm sure one day, you know, with the willingness to learn from these boys and girls, one day there will be an application coming from here in Dayton through that book. Thank you so much.
You know, it's just like the book for the young man who built the windmill. He was able to see that book, Ralph, and that's what started it. And I am so excited for all those in Dete, and they started a library. I don't know, Ralph, did you get to visit the library that they had? That's the first step, is just having these books and stimulating their imagination to think beyond just what is in front of them, that they can begin to dream about becoming an engineer or a coder or whatever you say. So yeah, that's great. Thank you so much, Delende.
But you're back to the culture question of the whole thing, because all of us would fill our suitcases with 40, 50 books and bring them over if that was an option. And apparently it's not an option, right? I mean, you can't just drop these things in and give them that opportunity. It really is a different culture, a different world that you have to work with on a different level.
And having a seat at the table, getting opportunities, getting to go, Delende and the group took their kids to see a university, because most never get out to even see one. By going, they got to start imagining that possibility of attending. And we've done that with our other groups. They take them, you know, that's where such a great investment in money is, to have those opportunities to go and see, and then they start believing and imagining, and then it becomes real in their life. So we're so grateful for everybody who supports this Giving Circle and the money that goes out to open up worlds. And each of these mentors is working so hard to create that pathway to make life much better for them. So do you want to?
Could I say something? Sorry, this is Betsy speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Ralph. I'm very excited that you went to Dete, because that's where I was. Okay, and we met Dumi. I don't know Delende, but I've been in his village and I've seen it and I know things. And we have sent considerable money privately because we're Canadian to Dete, and hopefully buy them a computer and stuff like that. But I'm just thinking what you learn on how can we help them get the books and the computers. Is it just, you know, we correspond with Dete or with Dumi quite often, and we got them chickens and they've started farming eggs and things like that. And I still like to give to the global sojourns, because I know they have avenues that I don't have. But is there anything that you learned that we can do personally, like from Canada? I can't get there now.
You know, I turn that one back to Priscilla because I am such a beginner at that whole thing. I have a million ideas and about half of one works. So she's more the expert on that one.
You could tell me that half.
These guys, Betsy, trust these guys know, what it is they need with new ideas coming in. And that's where Ralph is great. He'll pop these ideas in and we'll catch a few and it shifts things and we go in a new direction. But for the most part, trust these mentors. And so what we do with all your donations, each of these mentors puts in a proposal with what they believe is the best thing for them. And that's where it goes. We're not here to solve their problems. We're here to contribute ideas and to come alongside with resources, and they contribute other things. But they've got it down. Trust that, and I tell you, your monies go far. And any of you guys, any of the mentors, speak up here. But we've got a good process going. Do you want to show a few of the pictures, Paige? Have Devin get that going.
So another thought while she's doing the pictures, I really think that one of the cool things that might work would be to have every child in Canada and the United States go to Africa for a month. And then every child in Africa come here for a month, because it would open up their eyes to the possibilities, and it would give our kids the opportunity to see the hunger for education and why it's important, and to appreciate what you've got. Because I think oftentimes we don't appreciate what we've got, especially the younger generation, maybe, I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, Devin, take us away. So there you've got three of the mentors, and Rochelle and Audrey. And it was so cool to see people of the same age group getting together and just connecting. We have so much that is in common. And one of the, Rochelle, do you want to share a little bit of what we started out doing, what these pictures here are of?
Okay, I think you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Priscilla came over to me and said, "You're young, you're in charge, let's do something fun." And so I asked them, okay, what do you guys want to do? We got to get up, we got to get everyone, involved. And there was nothing. So I said, okay, well, we're going to do some dancing. And Evidence is a great dancer. And so he had some good moves. And so we got up and we all started flossing, which I'm not sure if everyone's familiar with that. But it's kind of like a ridiculous dance that's gone viral in the United States, like on TikTok. So we're all up there and we're dancing, and it was just really fun for everyone to kind of connect in that way. And then we had another boat go by that was some American tourists, and they yelled over to us, and they're flossing and doing the dance back at us. So it was a really fun icebreaker.
Look at that. What are you doing here?
I am pumping water.
Yes.
At the borehole. It's
Yes.
really hard. It's a lot harder than it looks.
So basically what they did is all the mentors and this group got together, and they all got on a boat, and with the captain of the boat was the only female pilot in Zimbabwe, and we especially set that up. And then that was a great way to go out on the Zambezi River and get to know one another, and a lot of chit chat. And then the next day they went, or one of the next days, they went out and started visiting some of the locations where the projects are. And they came to realize Ralph needed a little bit of help here. See, this one, Rachel was doing it on her own. But it's good to get out there hands-on. Audrey or Ralph, or any of you guys have a comment on this, or any of the mentors, go for it. But it's not not so easy pumping water.
I know the water, these gals are tough. I mean, they carry what, 45 pounds of water on their head, 4 or 5 miles or whatever it is. They walk everywhere. I mean, these guys work hard, and that work ethic carries over to school and everything else that they do, because that's what they know. That's what they have to do.
All righty, Devin, you keep moving the photos and we'll keep up with you.
Priscilla, they just traveled in Zimbabwe. Was there any reason for one country versus visiting others?
You know, there was so much to do right there, and time was limited, and also borders at that time were more complicated. So in the time of COVID, we're keeping it a little simpler. Oh, we're having Nisanda on from Madagascar is joining us. How exciting. So this is Nika and Indolende, and some of you have met both of them or one. And what's cool is what we did with the group is that they also, all the mentors in Zim went along, and they always have a good time going out and seeing each other's projects. And Nika or any of you guys unmute and talk along with the photos. They got to know what it was like to walk in the hot sun. Right here, this is a group that is hosting one of the newest clubs. And this woman, they visited her homestead. And they don't have a safe, well, their safe space is here. So it's safe emotionally and physically, but it is still very much in the hot sun. But what is so great is that it's the community is really coming along to support these groups. And she generously opened up her space in her homestead to this new club.
Excellent.
Okay, this has to be described. Ralph, where Ralph and Nika and Audrey, you guys get on and explain what we're doing here.
So we went to this animal sanctuary. What do they call that place? And they had us learn how to be a server and serve the drinks and make the food and make up the rooms. And we sort of had a contest to see if we could do that better than the staff. And so I think I failed miserably in my part of the job, but it was a blast working with everybody and just having fun. There we are trying to make up the room exactly the way the maids would have done. It wasn't too bad. I think we did a pretty good job. And then they would critique the whole thing. It was a kick.
Yeah. Ralph, you did okay on the bathroom cleaning. Yeah, so that was your team, right? Everybody was in a different part. And then they went on to, you want to explain this, Audrey or Rochelle?
Yeah, so this is at the same.
Sorry, I think evidently.
Oh, you can go ahead, Audrey.
You have Audrey?
Go ahead, Rochelle. Okay. So we went to a variety of different, or saw different services that they do. I think this is the laundry. I have a delay on mine, sorry, but the laundry facility, because we were asking them how they got everything so perfectly white in all the different washing machines. I think we all just learned it's a lot harder to do all of these different services than I think we all imagined. Definitely new appreciation for the people that we met on our safari and whatnot. But I think that they also helped us become better friends with the mentors, and getting to work with them. We knew each other on a different level. So that was really neat.
And mentors speak up. This is the thing, when you come over to visit, you know, and our donors and supporters go to visit, or when Travis, they don't realize that getting to stay in these places, you know, they don't have this opportunity. And so, and this is one of the main, the tourism industry is one of the main sectors for employment. So what happened this day, we had a great time together, but they got to see all the different jobs that were here. And then they go back and they can share that with their youth and start preparing them for this kind of work. And then at the very end, I'll show you something that the Dete group did, but for now, keep seeing this on this day out. And yeah, Nika, you want to say anything about this?
Hi everyone. Yeah, it was an experience. It was an exciting experience and an opportunity that we got with the group visiting us. I would say it was one of a kind. We rarely get such opportunities for us to get in detail, to know exactly what happens, you know, in the just behind the curtain in our hotel tourism sector. So it was an opportunity for us to get even more details and on how to see these guys in action. So instead of us being the tourists, we always get an opportunity, maybe if you get one, we only get an opportunity to become the employees. We are the ones who need to handle the tourists. So in that setup, it was different on this visit because we got an opportunity to become the tourist and were able to explain the feel when we get back to our boys and girls, when we talk to them about career opportunity and all those. So it was actually an eye-opening, you know, as we went through all the sections that we did, you know, for us to be able to come up with a draft to explain better on the opportunities that are offered right, you know, next door to us, especially explaining to the kids. So I would say, you know, the group gave us an opportunity. It was a great opportunity for us. We want to say thank you so much, and we greatly appreciate that. Actually, beyond that, I want to talk about, you know, the exchange kind of the relationship that we had with the group, them trying to understand our culture, us also trying to understand their culture. You know, one exciting thing is that we are from the side of the culture where things are sort of tough and hard from the perspective of the, allow me to say, the Americans. Because with us, it's the system that made us, that groomed us. To us, it's normal. It's easy. You know, Ralph, you know, humping the ball and carrying that water to and from for the ladies is just a simple thing for them. It's like a normal thing that they need to do. So we got to appreciate through that interaction, we got to appreciate that we have this kind of a resilience. We appreciated ourselves first, you know, and then when we go back to the boys and the girls, we're able to tell them to appreciate themselves, the strength that they have, you know, to survive in such, you know, an environment and a place, and still be able to make it, you know, in life. Yeah.
Yeah, and so can I point out also, and going to the animal sanctuary with the elephants, the bravery of the people from Zimbabwe to actually be that close to an elephant when they're perceived as these horrible, evil creatures that destroy your farms and absolutely wreak havoc on your houses and everything else. And to be there right next to them, that had to have been a difficult piece, and certainly different than what they're used to.
That is such a great point, Ralph. We did have Spay then going and hiding in the vehicle quite a ways, but no, this was, you forget, like it's just, they're seeing it from a whole different perspective. This is a photo of them going on. I know some of you left then, but really getting information on conservation. And then they went to learn about the gardens, the organic gardens and what's being used and in the local area. to make the gardens healthier, the organic gardens. And it was just, wow, to be able to get that info was fantastic. And they're all applying it now. They're all going for it with their gardens. So let's see that. Audrey, do you want to share what happened here? You were the first customer.
Sure. So we had the opportunity to go to the Girls Time Club. That was a really special experience, I thought, for me. I really enjoyed going there. 3 of the girls that were there shared with us the skills that they had learned. I remember one of the girls said she hadn't ever printed a document from a computer until she started at the Girls Time Club. And there's just a variety of skills like sewing and cooking, different technical skills too. But I think the biggest impression that we learned here, and I love, by the way, love that bag. I use it all the time, but it wasn't just what the girls said to us, but how they presented themselves. We were really impressed. Each of the girls stood tall. They spoke to a room of strangers, and many of these strangers were from halfway around the world. They made eye contact. They spoke confidently. They were prepared. They seemed very willing to talk to us and open. And they had a sort of confidence and presence that you don't often see. So I work with youth locally in an organization, and I don't mean to like juxtapose, but I don't see that kind of confidence and presence a lot in some of the teenagers I work with. So I was really impressed. And so I took a picture of the rules that they have at the Girls Time Club and saved it to bring back home, because I really liked a lot of their philosophies and how they approach things. So there was a lot that I felt like I could apply, but the different, like the skirts and bags and things that they made were amazing. So we were really excited to pick some up. So.
Thank you. One of the biggest, sorry, Paige, one of the biggest things that all of the clubs always state, it is about building confidence and self-esteem, and how far that takes one is tremendous. It's hard to put into words just what that means, but at the core of what they do, that's what they're doing. There's a bit of news that I think you'll all appreciate, that maybe Holly and Procedure or Mercy might want to announce right now, is something that's happening this week from Girls Time.
I think Procedure, it's up to you.
Oh, yes. Oh, we are so excited. We are so grateful. We are so excited. One of our girls who you actually all met during that visit, like those who were in that part of that group. One of our girls, Ratizai, if you remember her, she's not in this picture, like the third one, like who is not in this picture. If you remember her face, she has just, she got a scholarship to go to study in India, and she's going to be leaving for India on the 18th. So we are so excited for her. She's going to study business administration in a university called Lovely Professional University in India. So we are so excited. This is a good example. She joined this club in 2016, and she herself testifies that it's as a result of the confidence, the empowerment that she has received in the club, being encouraged to take up opportunities, to rise up, to look forward to a better future than what we see around us here in our communities, to put effort in her studies. It's as a result of the teachings, of the support that we have been giving her, the opportunities that she has been getting through being in this club. And so excited. We are thankful for all the support that we are getting from the GSGC, even the parents, the community, the teachers. Everyone is excited, and everyone testifies that indeed our clubs, our programs are really empowering and bringing change to girls in our community. So we are so excited and we are so grateful. Thank you so much.
So I think a lot of us can relate to that, who visited the clubs. When a girl stands up and she has that confidence, we all have seen it. And I think It's hard to measure when you're doing measuring and evaluation and, you know, filling out the forms of the progress of these clubs. How do you measure that confidence? But you can see when a girl is confident, what that what doors open for her. And I think we've all the mentors, we've been able to see this in the kids, and I'm sure with the boys as well. And that is something I think is so remarkable.
Tembe, are you able to unmute yourself? I got 2 messages from Tembe today just saying about one of their girls on fire. Just so excited and growing so much in her confidence. Are you able to unmute? We'll give it a second here. This is from the Dete group.
Yes, Priscilla, how was that? How was that experience?
And so the picture, I'll just see her in. Okay, I'm sorry she's not able to unmute here. It's just an amazing message of you know, what she's saying, what the club has meant to them, and that they are so excited for this year. And it's the confidence, you can just see it changing in the girls week by week, and so enthusiastic about this one girl who is now on a path to become an engineer. And we're very excited about it. So this picture here, this is something that, it's one of those stories, we all have our stories that touch your hearts. And this is one from going from Ralph's generosity to helping the mentors have this opportunity to do what we take for granted as travelers, to go out and visit a lodge and be able to experience this and also see what jobs are available there, because that is, again, one of the key sources of jobs for the area. So the team from Tikobani, from Dete, were up joining us for these activities. And you can see Ndolende, who's in this car, I think that's him down, or maybe in the white shirt there. He's on fire also. Oh my gosh, talk about initiative. We've used the word umph, and he says, oh, well, we use the word that thing. The people who have that thing. Well, Ndolende has that thing. And Betsy, so you know, he and Dumi work hand in hand with Tembe and Stu. The 4 of them are the mentors down there. But they had traveled as a group. They left being with Ralph and the gang at probably about 3:30. They had a 3 or 4 hour to get back to Dete and finding their way. He got there that evening. He jumped on a phone or to text to try to get hold of the local, there's a small lodge near them. And the next day when Ralph and the group, we went down to visit, after they left, Ndolende set up this same activity for the youth. So go to the next picture, Devin. And so they're, like we were at the tent, they're making up rooms, they are in teams and doing the same thing. And it was just a wonderful insight into, again, they don't get that opportunity to see even what these jobs are about. And they made it great fun. They were waiting tables. And Ndolende, if you want to say anything about that, jump on. And then you gave them an award.
Thank you, Priscilla. Thank you about that. Yeah, so it was so fun for our boys and girls. You know, most of their parents, they work in the tourism industries, but themselves, they've never visited one lodge or any safari around them. So as you can see from the pictures, the girls and boys were so excited, jumping inside the water, playing in the water. So it was very exciting for them. And many of them, they also want to work in the hotel industry. So the opportunity was about giving them that chance to see what they will be doing. So it was very, very wonderful for them. And yeah, they are collecting water. That was the same week, Priscilla, when we had a very big challenge with water here in Tete. So that's one of the things that our little girls are doing. They work very hard. And I believe with so much guidance, these girls have the potential. And thanks so much to the GSGC community for helping these young girls and boys to achieve their dreams. Thank you.
So I think what I had asked is that for Ralph and his group to think about to recall one special moment that stands out to you, and would you any of you be willing to share that one special moment that really stands out from the trip? Audrey, Rochelle, Ralph.
Or the mentors also, yeah.
Or the mentors, absolutely.
So for me, it was the gift in Dete that was so totally unexpected and so gracious from people that really appreciated and were grateful for just a visit and just a conversation and the opportunity to say hi. That was really an incredible moment. I mean, it's not the money, it's not the time. It was that they thought of us and that they gave us something in that process. And when we asked, was this Priscilla's idea? Come on. They said, no, it was their idea. And that's just how they are. They're grateful, they're thankful. It was really amazing to be part of that.
That's great. Anyone else?
Say, just being able to connect with some of the girls, that picture, that's Audrey and Tambi and Stu and Jada and I, they're around the same age as me. And so it was just kind of fun to connect on like an actual personal level. Like this is, if they lived here, this is somebody that I could really be friends with, still can't be from far away, but that really I can relate to, even though we do have all of these huge differences. And so it's one thing when you hear about, other places that are far away, but then when you actually get the chance to meet them and have that real personal connection, and they were genuinely interested in us and so happy that we were there and, made such an effort to make us comfortable, which was just really, really cool. So I would say the human aspect of really meeting them and connecting on a real level.
For me, going to Africa, I didn't know what to expect. And I think one standout moment for me was the school. The children that all came out and sang the song about Corona, it was a really, really cool experience. And Jada, who was conducting and helping them, she's a kid herself. And that was really amazing because she's very young too. And she's already a mentor and training to be a mentor. And the children, their willingness to sing and learn poems and present them in front of us, that was really neat. And I think we all went away from that feeling, just really energized but humbled too. It was really cool.
That's great. Anyone else? And we welcome any questions or observations from the donors on the call or friends with the circle. This is a great time before we finish up here.
And Levita's just unmuted. Yeah.
Hey, Levita.
Levita, there's a bird over there.
Is that right? It was absolutely amazing. But I think one of my, there were so many favorite moments. It just was beyond anything you could imagine going to another country. And it's not just, I love the animals. Everybody knows that it was on the trip, but to step into their lives, what little bit we could, and really see the challenges people face, the totally different lifestyle than anything we could possibly imagine. then to see, I think Girls Time was one of my favorites. To see what they're doing with the sewing and the baking and the learning the skills that might give them something down the road if they need it. It gives them a skill to support themselves, or some type of entrepreneurship, which has always been a big thing for me. But giving them knowledge, giving them the skills, giving them the opportunities to say what we're making is good enough to sell, because they seemed absolutely astounded that they could actually sell what they were making and do something with that. So it was a great way to see their skills and to enjoy part of Africa every day, bringing home my face mask. So thank you.
Jennifer, did you want to add anything?
Sorry, I'm juggling all three girls because my husband's working today. So, and all they just keep saying is, "Hi, Grandpa Doggett." So, but yeah. I was actually typing in the chat, like one thing that was just kind of crazy to learn is just how much, like for me, if I need to learn something, I just Google it, right? And that's just not available in Zimbabwe. Like I couldn't even, so Priscilla told us that she hadn't seen The Lion King, and I was like, well, let me download it on Disney Plus and we can watch it. And Zimbabwe, Disney Plus is actually blocked in Zimbabwe. And just to learn like how much technology is blocked there, but also just to actually get that an internet connection and get some data is a huge financial sacrifice. It's not a good stream of data, right? It's going to be like choppy and stuff. And so that to me was really eye-opening of like, wow, like they can't just Google whatever they want, right? So that's just like a huge difference, right? It's that thirst for knowledge is there because they don't have it. So it's just kind of a crazy eye-opening experience for that.
So we have many people who go, have to go climb ladders or go under trees. That this morning I had a meeting with one of the mentors, and we had a designated time so she could walk to her tree and get connection. And those of you who know Svea and Shirai, it's so funny because they also have a tree that they go to. And as it gets dark, because the best time for them is like 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and then it starts getting dark and all you can see are their eyes. So it's, I mean, getting internet is one of the biggest things. And step by step, bit by bit, we're just so grateful so many are on today. So if anyone wants to comment of the mentors, please speak up about the visit.
Well,
Okay, I have a question. I know you're recording this. This is to you, Priscilla, I guess. I know you're recording it. I'm the only one from Canada here. I tried to quickly send out an email to some of them to get on fast, all right? But how will we access the recording? Because I know that all of the Elephanti people are going to want to see this, okay?
Yeah. We will email that to you, but you aren't the only one from Canada. There are others, but they're not in,
the Elephanti people, yeah.
Yeah.
Betsy, I'm the one from Toronto.
Hi, Suzanne. I didn't recognize, there you go.
That's
I didn't recognize your just your name.
That's okay.
And Procedure was starting to say something. So Procedure, you unmute. You guys got just unmute, you mentors, and go for it.
while we're waiting, Betsy, we'll send the link out, right, Priscilla, to get the recording. While we're waiting, anyone else have a comment, or some of the friends of the Giving Circle who've been? Anybody have anything to say? Speak now.
So I'm curious, and I'd like to ask Ralph and all the wonderful people who accompanied him, for your second trip with Global Sojourns, what would you like to do? 'Cause
I think for me, I would have loved to spend more time with kids. We, you know, because of COVID and stuff, we didn't get a chance to do as much with that. So that just spending more time with the people and the kids would have been really fun.
What would you have left behind? And you know, so many times when the travelers go over, they go, why did I bring this? Or, oh, I wish I had this. Is there anything that you would take on the next trip that you really needed, that for anyone who's thinking of going on a trip, what would you really have wanted to have with you?
Vida, you can answer the earlier question.
I wanted to go back to the earlier question. I would love to go back to each of the places we visited, spend some more time and see what has changed since we initially went. The community spaces are so different from one club to another, and to see where they head and maybe what impacts seeing other people from other places and getting some different knowledge makes to them and what they're doing in their group.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say for packing, the list that you guys gave us was a great list. Like if you really went over that list, it was very detailed and had lots of the things we needed. So I would just use that as a good guide.
Good job,
And not to
Priscilla and
forget books
Pam.
on planes.
Great. All right. Is there anyone else who has any comments before we say goodbye? It's almost that time. Priscilla?
I'm just looking at Prosper's mute button and procedure and Sunga and hoping that they're gonna unmute before we get off.
I just wish that what we had today and to hear from Ralph and the group, this exchange is so amazing around the world. I wish that we all, like Ralph was saying, bringing all the kids here and exchange them. This is what makes the world go round for me. We have a better understanding. You leave this country and you go to another country and you think you know what's happening there until you actually get there. We have many challenges facing us, climate change, just as you saw, the elephants, and learning about conservation, how it's vital to all of us. And you guys were able to have this time to come together for better understanding. And I think to make the world a better place. And I really appreciate all your efforts. And you traveled with heart. And I think today is just another example of when we come together, we're just so much better for it. And I really appreciate this.
Yeah. Yeah, that you guys all came to learn and participate and get right in there was just fantastic. And you were so generous with opportunity, and that goes so far. So thank you so much. And Betsy, oh, Betsy, that's a thumbs up. I want to say, you know, COVID's been tough for so many of us in the world. And I am so thankful for this community, both those who volunteer, the donors, and the mentors. And through this whole time, they have kept going strong. And there has not been school pretty much since COVID began, and there's no online learning. So those kids are coming to the mentors for help right and left. And they've gone way beyond. Their mentorship is so broad now between entrepreneurship and teaching and tutoring and gardening. But what it has done is that there's been so much light and energy coming from them and their enthusiasm. And what Ralph was mentioning, there's been no whining. It's been all hands on deck. Let's do what we can for our community. Let's pivot. Let's do what's needed. And it has filled my heart all the time of what's happening out there. And we hope to be that light out to others, because it's the many lights, the many smalls adding up to something really significant. And we're just every day, those impact stories are becoming exponential now. And it's because we trust in them, we come alongside, they know what we're doing, and we come and resource them, we support them. And right and left, people are going off to further in school, they're gaining that confidence, they're helping family, the boys are doing chores, you know, it's just, I'm just so thankful to all you mentors who are on today. Thank you for being a source of energy and light. And we're just so glad, we hope you guys on the call today can pick up some of that energy and take that with you. A lot of good things are happening out there. And thank you for your support to make those lights bright.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, everybody, unmute. We're going to stop recording and unmute and say hi. And thank you, Ralph and team, very
Thank you.
much.
This was really good. Thank you, everyone.